of Congress because Nancy Pelosi did not want the Republican members that then Leader McCarthy put up.
According to the courts, it was.
My time, sir.
Will you yield for
a
correction?
I was respectful of your time. I didn't say anything. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's move forward with our business. He should be held in contempt. There was a subpoena. He did not answer it. Any other American...
AOC thought she could embarrass Byron Donalds in Congress, but what happened next left her completely speechless. Byron Donalds turned the tables, exposed her hypocrisy, and reminded every American watching what real leadership looks like. If you're tired of seeing Democrats twist the truth and want more fearless patriots like Byron Donalds holding the line, hit that like button, subscribe to Channel 50, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss when we expose the left's double standards and fight for the truth.
Will be held in contempt by Congress. Any other. This is Democrat privilege of the highest order. Let's do our jobs. I yield.
Gentleman yields. Chair now recognizes Ms. Ocasio-Cortez from New York.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to address briefly, quickly, that moment about privilege and all of this that we're seeing here. It was a very beautiful speech. As also the Republican side had mentioned in their many raisings of the January 6th committee, that it's not just Hunter Biden, you, me, any individual subject to equal treatment under the law, to be held up to accountability under the law, but it is also these committees and this committee that is subject to oversight and law. We must comply with the law here as well. Now, I may be one of the very few people that actually believes in Congress, in this country. But I do, and many of us do here. And we have an obligation to engage in good faith participation to execute and comply with the subpoena. The chairman said in front of the country several times to Hunter Biden, you can show up here in front of the world, in front of the public. Hunter Biden took him up on that offer. He said, I will show up in public. I will show up in public. He showed up here today. He showed up here in the past. And Mr. Chairman, I know you do your best with what you've got, but you've got members here that have submitted falsified evidence to the record. You have members here that have submitted and mischaracterized closed-door hearings, and people want to say back and forth at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what party it's happened from. You've got members who've engaged in revenge porn in this committee. So it is understandable why Hunter Biden would want to testify in front of the public for the American people to be able to witness that testimony for themselves. You've got members who've defied subpoenas. You've got members who we are 1 year into the term asking what the rules are at the beginning of the committee. The book was given to us on day one. And so what we should do is allow the man to testify. I believe in the power of the Oversight Committee. Frankly, I believe in it regardless of whether Republicans or Democrats have the chair, because I believe that this committee should have the power of oversight. And we cannot do that on a partisan basis. And so for that, I implore this committee to allow Hunter Biden to testify publicly. I implore and I ask for that to happen. And we cannot do that by getting engaged in this back and forth on a defiance of the subpoena. Let him comply. Let him do it today. Let him do it tomorrow. But let the man do it. And with that, I yield back to the ranking member.
Thank you, Ms. Ocasio.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A couple of things. First, it was said in this hearing, Mr. Chairman, about you specifically, that you repeatedly said you would give Mr. Biden any opportunity. He could choose which one to come and speak in front of this committee. He could do it by deposition. He could do it by open hearing. It was up to him. The truth of the matter, though, is, members, is that the chairman's words are not binding. Like, no other member's words of Congress are really not binding. The binding article...
Point of order. Does the chairman agree with that? Point of order. Does the chairman agree?
Are you going to restore my time?
Point of order. Just point of order.
Okay.
Does the chairman agree that the chairman's words are not binding on the committee?
That's not a point of order. It has nothing to do with the order of this hearing. Thank you. Can I go back to 4 minutes and 34 seconds? That's where I was before I was interrupted by Mr. Raskin.
Yes. Reset the clock.
Thank you. Thank you. What is binding is the actual written document, the written language in the subpoena, because a subpoena...
All right, folks, Buckle up, because what just went down in Congress is the perfect example of why the American people are sick and tired of Washington's double standards. I'm talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez trying to take on Byron Donalds during a heated Oversight Committee hearing and instantly regretting every second of it. Before we break this down, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to Channel 50, and ring that notification bell. We're bringing you the truth the mainstream media refuses to show. Now, let's get into it. This hearing was supposed to be about Hunter Biden's refusal to comply with a lawful subpoena. But instead of holding him accountable like any ordinary citizen would be, Democrats turned it into another circus. Byron Donalds stepped up and made it crystal clear, this isn't about white privilege, it's about Democrat privilege. He reminded everyone that Donald Trump Jr. showed up for every single subpoena 5 times, without any of this media drama. Meanwhile, Hunter Biden ignored his legal obligation, waltzed into the Senate side for a press conference, and walked out like he's above the law. And Democrats applauded him for it. That's the level of arrogance we're dealing with. But then came AOC, stepping in to defend Hunter Biden. And folks, it was a disaster. She started rambling about committee procedures, revenge porn, and unrelated nonsense that had nothing to do with the issue at hand. It was classic AOC, deflect, distract, and dramatize. She tried to argue that the committee chairman told Hunter he could testify publicly, so somehow that makes his defiance okay. But Byron Donalds wasn't having it. He shut that down immediately. He calmly explained that a verbal comment doesn't override a written congressional subpoena signed by the clerk of the House. That's the law. Period. Donalds brought it back to what matters: accountability. He pointed out the obvious. If any regular American ignored a subpoena, they'd be in handcuffs. But because Hunter Biden's last name is Biden, he gets a pass. That's not justice. That's corruption. And let's not forget, Donalds went even further. He exposed how the Biden family has made millions through shady foreign business deals without ever running a legitimate company. Meanwhile, Democrats try to compare that to Donald Trump, who built an entire real estate empire long before he ever ran for office. The difference couldn't be clearer. Then, in one of the most powerful moments, Donalds reminded the room and the entire country that the only business the Biden family ever had was politics. They sold access. They sold influence. And the American people paid the price. You could see AOC squirming as Donalds laid down the facts. No yelling, no drama. Just calm, clear truth. That's what real leadership looks like. Logic versus emotion. Facts versus fantasy. And when the clip played later from CPAC, Donalds hit the nail on the head again. He said AOC believes we can just print money endlessly, that debt doesn't matter, and yet she drives a Tesla and lives in one of the most expensive apartments in D.C. That's the hypocrisy of the radical left. They want socialism for you, but capitalism for themselves. This moment right here shows exactly what's wrong with our government. The radical left has turned Congress into a stage, and people like AOC care more about headlines than honesty. But Byron Donalds showed what happens when you stand up for the rule of law, for truth, and for the American people. This is why patriots are waking up. We're done being silent. We're done letting the left twist reality. And we're ready to support leaders who aren't afraid to speak the truth, no matter who it offends. So let me know what you think down in the comments. Did AOC expose herself yet again? Or was this just another day of Democrat double standards on full display? Thanks for watching, and remember, stay informed, stay bold, and stay patriotic. This is Channel 50, where we speak truth without apology.